Chapter 58. You met her disoriented gaze, lost and tormented in a hellish maze. You understood. You knew. You had been there too. The rules had changed. Suddenly Fatima Nahad came in the evenings as well. Her time slot had disappeared as one operation followed another. She had heard their voices when she came back from the toilet. She had turned around just before they saw her and she had run. She continued running, even when she was far from his room. It was as if her legs were doing as they wished, running and running without her controlling them. When she had run down all the stairs, she rushed out and stopped only when the cold air met her nostrils. It was evening again. How many nights had she been here? Was it a few days since Keivan came here in an ambulance, or was it a few weeks ago? She really couldn't tell. Time was like gruel, impossible to see through. Maybe this was the week with the business administration exam and annual reports she had helped him study for. She closed her eyes and longed intensely to open them and see that what had happened was just a vicious dream. That she and Keivan were on their way to or from their schools with their arms around each other laughing. Closing her eyes didn't work. She knew it was not a dream. Keivan was still in there and nothing would ever be as it had once been. Although she had her eyes closed, she felt a bright light against her eyelids, like a spotlight on her face. A motorcycle coming towards her. A motorcycle? Was it a dream, a hallucination? It was January, cold and slippery. Surely no one was riding a motorcycle now. The headlight continued to shine on her. It continued coming closer. She should move, but could not. She closed her eyes again. Run over me, she thought. Run over me, so I can also lie unconscious in there. Let people feel sorry for me rather than hate me. Run over me. He didn't. He stopped when the front wheel was just centimeters away from her legs. When he turned off the engine, she opened her eyes. Did he make it? She looked at the motorcyclist without understanding. His helmet and visor were black. No face could be seen. His motorcycle was a Harley-Davidson, and the leather pants and jacket were as black as his long hair. Just before he took off his helmet, she realized who it was. It was dark, but she could still see his cold, grey eyes. Well, he's still alive, if that's what you mean, but no one knows if he's injured for life, if he can ever become himself again. She looked down at the black, wet asphalt and let the words pour out. His parents are there now, so I can't be there. They probably want to be alone with him, not with me, the one who dragged him along and then couldn't protect him. He didn't want to go there, you see. It was me. It was I who didn't understand. I know there are racists, but I never really got it. We've been together for 2 years and I've never understood it. I thought his world and mine were similar. I'm not a good girlfriend. He loves me, even though he should hate me. Or maybe he doesn't love me anymore, I don't know. Jenny stopped and looked at him with a surprised look on her face, as if she hadn't noticed until now that she was rambling to a complete stranger. Excuse me, she murmured, looking down at the road. Then she remembered, looked up and said, "By the way, the police wanted to know what you looked like. I said I didn't remember." She looked at him closely now to see how he reacted. It was a lie. I remember very well. I don't know what I was thinking. You're a hero. I should have said something. I can tell them now. Before she could continue, he put his gloved hand on her arm. He said nothing. He just held her until she was silent. Then he kept his hand there a few more seconds. The less the police and I have to do with each other, the better. People came out of the hospital. A few cars passed on the road next to the hospital. They stood there silently. Then his voice, the one that was clear without being loud, reached her ears again. You weren't the one assaulting him. It was the idiots who attacked you. If you want to... He hesitated for a moment. If you want, I can make sure they are punished. If the law doesn't take care of it, I can. He looked at her for a few seconds. She didn't have a clue what he was talking about. He put on his helmet and got ready to leave. Wait, I don't even know your name. He put his hands on the handles. Diego. My name is Jenny, she said, not sure he could hear it since he had started the loud engine. He turned his head, but you couldn't see his eyes through the black visor. I know. Jenny stood in the cold January air, watching him as he drove off. She wondered if their brief, strange conversation had really taken place, or if it had all been a hallucination.